Hannah, and today I'm going to show you how to make coasters out of perler beads. You may be wondering to yourself, what's a perler bead? Perler beads are multicolored craft beads that can be placed on a pegboard in various different patterns and designs, and then heated to fuse the beads together and create a solid object such as this. And today I'm going to make coasters. When you're making a project, the first thing you want to do is select what you're going to make. As in today we're going to make coasters. But if you're trying to decide and you're having trouble, you can often get some help from these type of project idea books. They show you lots of different ways to make out of various different patterns and stencils. These books can be used to either copy it exactly by what you see in the book, or you can use this as a starting place and then customize it for your own ideas and projects. So once you've figured out what it is that you're going to make, the first thing you need to choose is what type of pegboard or stencil you're going to use. The stencils come in various different sizes and shapes, from your basic geometric shapes to something more fun and creative, such as a butterfly or a horse, maybe a dolphin or a teddy bear, which can also be used to make a gingerbread boy or something else. We have lots of animals. We have cat, fish, and then there's flowers. We also have a fancy lady's shoe, and every girl's favorite, decorate your own purse. Also, the geometric shapes come in various different sizes, and in the case of these squares, they can be linked together to make a larger stencil for larger and more complicated projects. It helps if you have a flat surface. Anyway, there you go. You have a much larger surface, and with a pegboard such as this, you can do a lot of freehand work. That's what these are good for. If you just have something in your mind and you want to make it, this larger surface makes it easier to spread out and get more creative. Alright, so we've decided that we're going to make coasters, and today I've selected the hexagon shape to make a coaster. So after you've decided on your shape and your project, the next thing you want to decide is what colors you're going to use. As you can see in this bowl, the beads often come in buckets of all different colors mixed together. So for project today, I've chosen the hex, and I'm stripe design in 5 colors. The next step is to separate the colors you want to use. And we've found in our house that it's fun to use these cleaned out baby food containers, the beads to from above. As you sort the colors, you have several different of the containers to sort the different colors into the cups. And once you have colors sorted, it's a good idea to transfer them to Ziplocs for later use. It's difficult sometimes to stay in order. That's why we like a little. Now make these sorting pans, which we don't have any today, but it's square rectangular plate with indentations all in rows. And some people prefer to use something like that for sorting their colors. However you choose to do it, whatever works for you is a good idea. So today we sorted our colors and then we arrange them on the pegboard in a stripe pattern. Once you have completed putting all the beads on the stencil, then you're ready to melt the beads together. So at this time, if you have an ironing board, that's perfectly acceptable, but in our house we prefer to use a towel laid over the table. So you transfer your project to your heating surface, and you take one of these papers. It's a specially made type of wax paper that's used to transfer the heat to the beads and have the beads stick to the paper. So now we're going to take a preheated iron, press it down on your project, move the iron in a circular motion while pressing down until eventually you'll see the circular outline of each and every individual going through the paper. You can see at this time some of the beads are through, but not every. We're going to keep pressing, ironing. This process can sometimes. Also, before you begin, you may want to get special tools to help handle the project after you've finished ironing it, because everything will tend to be quite hot. Okay. As you can see, more is starting to show through, and you can see that some of the beads have melted together. So I'm thinking we usually do, once we think it's done enough, we do it about 10 seconds, just to be sure. Okay, so now this is melted enough. So at this time, we want to take the paper and hold the stencil down with your tool, because it will be hot, and carefully peel the project off the pegboard. As you can see, the beads easily released from the pegboard but stuck to the paper. Then we take another piece of paper, the special heating paper, and now we're going to do the same process to the other side. Pressing down and checking for the circles to show through the paper that it's sufficiently melted. This can be very time-consuming and tedious portion of the project, but it's very important that you get it sufficiently melted so that your project stays together for a long time. Okay. Again, I think this looks like it's pretty good. Once again, we're going to use the tool to hold the project down while gently peeling the paper away. It can be a little tricky, so be careful, it's right off. And now, do it on the other side. And ta-da! We've made a coaster. You can let it dry. You don't want to handle it too much until it's dry. The sides can tend to curl up or the shape will warp. And it's very hot also. So that's how you make a coaster out of perler beads. Once you've mastered the process, you may want to get a little bit more creative. And you can move on to more complicated designs, such as these two-dimensional designs, a dog or a horse. You can get more creative with the help of your hot gun. You can create. Here's a couple that my daughter has made. There's a house, sponge pants, and a bouquet of flowers, even useful items such as a dice. You'll never misplace that dice. This is my son's favorite. It's a skateboard. And then to get really ambitious, you can create something such as this, a checker game, which we used by using those 4 square stencils put together. And probably the most complicated project done in this house is this swimming pool with 2 people playing volleyball in the pool. So at this time, I hope I have inspired you to get your creativity going and make your own perler bead projects. Thank you.